Jacinda Ardern, the former Prime Minister of New Zealand, the leader who is loved worldwide, who also said this during COVID.
COVID-19.govt.nz. Otherwise, dismiss anything else. We will continue to be your single source of truth.
Wow, that doesn't sound terrifying. Well, Auntie Jacinda decided to resign just last week, and I tell you what, ladies and gentlemen, I couldn't be happier. Poor little Jacinda decided she needed to resign because she didn't have any more in the tank. She was too worn out. She was too tired. This brave girl boss, the boss bitch, just gave up. She couldn't take it anymore. And the news of her resignation spread like horrifying body odour at a feminist rally. One feminist from the UK, Charlotte Proudman, which is a hilarious name, a barrister from the UK who fights for women's rights, said this: "I've never heard a male politician resign because he has, in quotes, reached his limit." And then one misogynist, one piece of shit, one horrible person said this: "This is why the wage gap exists. Giving up when it gets too hard. Try harder, ladies." That's disgusting. What horrible bastard would say that? A terrifying, horrible misogynist, a violent man. It was me. I said that. I thought it was very funny and I was right. I got a few likes and I think 2,000 people unfollowed me on Instagram. I thought it was really funny. There were a lot of comments on that post that I put up as well. Charlotte said she's lost respect for me on this one. Oh no. Esther said, "Not gonna lie, this is an L post." Oh no. Camden said, "Okay, you try and be Prime Minister for 5.5 years whilst raising a child. I think it's a noble act and shows how selfless she is, accepting the fact that in order for her country to continue to thrive and progress, it needs someone with a fresh mindset and lots of energy, even if that means stepping away." All I can say is thank goodness Winston Churchill didn't decide that it was getting too hard for him during World War II and step down and stand aside. Yeah, that would have changed a little bit of history. Thank goodness Australian Prime Minister Scott Morrison didn't decide to go overseas and have a holiday when Australia was on fire. Okay, that's a bad example, but you get my point. Now, of course, I really don't mean any of what I said in that post there. I'm just stirring the pot. But apparently you can't do that on social media. Everything you say is gospel. I thought it was pretty well known I'm a comedian, just saying shit for shits and gigs. It's literally my job to talk shit. And you're taking everything I say with extreme literalism? That's your fault, dumb shit. Now, let me be honest here. I do actually think that women can do absolutely anything that men can do in the working world. Now, obviously it becomes a lot harder when you have kids, but, and here's the problem with all of that, that was your decision, okay? That's not a barrier, that's your decision. If you don't want that barrier, don't make that decision. Simple as that. I don't like Jacinda Ardern at all. I don't like her politics. I don't like the power that she craved during the whole Rona, right? I don't like that at all. But that doesn't mean I wish any harm to come to her or I hate her as a person. Obviously not. In fact, the reason I made this video right here that you're watching had nothing to do with her. It had to do with the media and their reaction to her stepping down as Prime Minister, all right? A lot of people decided to say, well, the only reason that Jacinda stood down was because of men. Jacinda Ardern's decision to step down as New Zealand's leader may have been shocking, but there's a reason. It makes perfect sense. And who's this by? Oh my God! Mary Magdalene again. If you watch the channel every single week, you know that this writer has appeared in almost a video a week for like a month. I'm not going out of my way to pick on this woman. It's just the most ridiculous article every week is from her. Opinion. Jacinda Ardern has stepped down as Prime Minister of New Zealand and it's just me? Or are all the girl bosses just too exhausted to girl boss? Oh my fucking God, babe. I think that's a bit of an oxymoron. You're too exhausted to girl boss? Maybe you're not the boss you thought you were. They are hanging up their blazers, which makes perfect sense because women are doing too much. In a world where no one cares, let's cry together. Ardern's also a mum to a 4-year-old daughter and has led her country through a pregnancy and a pandemic. No wonder the woman is exhausted. Well, don't have a baby. Interestingly, Ardern is the first high-profile woman to leave a very important job recently. There has been a mass exodus. Has there? Okay. Tennis person Ash Barty shocked everyone last year when she announced that she was retiring from tennis just after she'd won the Australian Open. Equally, Lee Sales definitely surprised people when she announced she'd been departing from ABC's 7:30. Powerful women seem to be finally working out that having it all means not having much left for yourself. No one gives a shit. No one cares. How many male CEOs or male whatevers, business people, successful people, entrepreneurs, do you think they have much time for themselves? What are you complaining about? I don't know anything about the Lee Sales thing. I don't give a fuck, all right? But Ash Barty, she retired because she was having a baby. A decision. I guess it was a man's fault. He was doing the jizzing, but it's a decision. It doesn't matter how much you girl boss, sometimes the load is just too heavy to carry. We've all been there for the girl boss wave. Yes, and it's been terrifyingly annoying, all right? It's like a dude calling himself king. Alright? Everyone fucking hates you if you call yourself girl boss. You sound like a fucking wanker. Firstly, women were told they couldn't have it all, and being a mother would have been their only identity if they had children. Well, obviously that's not fair. That's an outdated point of view, okay? And it's changed. Then women were told they could have it all, and not just that they could have it all, but they should. Okay, whatever you... I don't know what you're saying here. Women should have babies, careers, toned bodies, make big money, and have the perfect marriage. And they should do it all, and not miss a single child's birthday or promotion. Agreed. Ladies, try harder, all right? Just sort your shit out. Stop fucking around. At first, women were told to be happy to have a seat at the table. They'd eat there no matter how tired, exhausted, underpaid, overworked they were. Oh my God, can you imagine news.com thinking this is a good article to put up on their fucking website? Who employs this woman? Her entire job is just complaining about things that everyone deals with. Are you sick of being tired at work? Are you sick of having to get up and go to work? Are you sick of having to make dinner? Are you sick of having to do the laundry? Are you sick of having to do the vacuuming? Are you sick of Yes, we're all sick of it. Women can't have it all. And why the hell are women the only ones being told that they should attempt to marry? What the fuck are you on about? Men don't need to be told that they have to try really hard in life to make money. They have to. They just have to. Men have never been expected to do it all because no one can do it all. Finally, ladies and gentlemen, the blame has finally landed on our shoulders. It's our fault that Ardern resigned because we don't do it all. Traditionally, their role was to be a provider, and now we expect men to do more at home, but they aren't taking the load on like women. I think this happens for two reasons. Number one, a lot of men are shit, all right? They're not good companions and they're not good partners. Pick your partners better. Number two, women are generally better at caring for children. Sorry, biology. I think these people just need better relationships. Like, for example, in my marriage, if my wife doesn't clean, she doesn't eat. No, when she cleans the house, I mow the backyard and the front yard. That's our trade-off. I cook and she cleans up. Equal. We have a baby on the way and we expect to do everything 50-50. And it's a lot easier because I work from home, but we do. We expect to do everything 50-50, especially breastfeeding. Can't wait. But not all relationships can be like this. Some men work outside 12 hours a day pouring concrete. And I think if their wife is at home, an at-home mum, then maybe she should cook dinner when he comes home in the afternoon absolutely exhausted. Don't you think that's quite fair? The Australian Bureau of Statistics has reported that Australian women still outweigh men with the amount of unpaid work they do for the household. This whole unpaid work shit is garbage. Absolute bullshit. What they are saying when they say unpaid work is housework. Looking after the kids. That's unpaid work. That's not unpaid work. That's just what you have to do to look after your house. Should I get paid for vacuuming? What if I clean my car? Should I get a check in the mail? Fucking grow up. You see, the maths isn't adding up. The Australian workforce is made up of 47.4% of women. But still, with all the extra expectations that come from being a woman, women are now providing and still doing the bulk of the family load. And eventually, something has to give. Women, they are working, mothering, and quietly suffering. Probably thinking, I don't want it all. At least not the female version of it. Here are some dot points from what I've just read. Thank you very much for these paragraphs of self-fellatio bullshit. If you don't have the support from your partner, usually that's on you for picking a shit partner. It's also on them, but it's also on you. It's hard to have it all, and that's why no one does. And ladies, honestly, if it's too hard, you could always just do something that men can't do, right? Or at least not most men, and just make an OnlyFans. And then just cruise through life without ever having to face anything difficult, except for your mental health, obviously. There were so many articles about Ardern, some blaming the patriarchy, others blaming gender roles. But this one from The Guardian was mad that people were mean to Jacinda.
The thing that burns my fuel to the point of flashing emergency light and blaring alarm is the abuse and threat of violence that has become par for course for political women.
Yes, believe it or not, political women face threats and threats of violence. Thankfully, that never happens to political men. Never happened at all. In fact, to prove my point, let's ask this chunk of JFK's skull. Here is the reality of the girl boss. Life's tough, work's tough, family life's tough, fucking deal with it or shut the fuck up. I don't need to go into any further detail. If you want a good relationship, find a partner that helps you out. If you don't pick a good partner, then your life's gonna be even tougher. Ladies, no one cares. Have you ever noticed when a man complains, no one cares? No one cares if you do either. We all have it tough. Some lives are tougher than others. That's just life. And being a victim your entire life is not making anything easy for you. Mary Magdalene, who wrote that article, maybe fucking jot that down. I'd just like to end this video by saying this. To men and women, no one cares, try harder. Ladies and gentlemen, be a good motherfucker. Peace, the Middle East, be dick sticks, toodle au revoir, bye-bye.